Hi again, guys. So now I want to walk you through the second part of your speaking exam. So we've been over the first part, which is more introductory, but now we're going to focus on part two, which is basically you have to talk for 1 to 2 minutes on your own. So your examiner won't interrupt you. You will have to speak yourself for 1 to 2 minutes. And you also get 1 minute of preparation time. So you'll be asked to do something like describe a holiday, and then you will have a cue card with some prompts, then 1 minute of preparation time, 1 to 2 minutes to answer. If you only give a 1 minute answer, you're not going to achieve the higher bands. You're really limiting your potential. You want to at least aim for 1 minute 30. And when you hit 2 minutes, your examiner will interrupt you. And so you won't be able to say anything else. But in your preparation time, try plan as much as you possibly can. And then you won't run out of things to say. You'll have a lot of different points to mention about your holiday or whatever it may be. You know, they typically ask you things like it will be describe a, okay? So like describe a holiday, describe a subject at school you like, and then there will be a list of prompts for you to prepare with. So here's an example of what I might do in the planning stage. So if it was to describe a holiday, one holiday I'd like to talk about for you guys is when I went to Barcelona. And so I've written some little hints and stuff I could say and that I can look at during the 2 minutes. So I'm not going to get flustered and panicked because I have all these different things to say. 1 minute of preparation time. So you're not going to want to write large sentences, okay? Write a couple of points. So these are some things I'm going to talk about. So I'm going to talk about something about Messi, something about an injury, La Sagrada Familia, which is really famous piece of architecture in Barcelona. So I've got some stuff to talk about and some stuff to fall back on if I forget what else to say. And so planning is so important. Don't waste this minute, okay? It's 1 minute, guys. You have to really, really write stuff as fast as you can and plan the best you can, because 2 minutes is a long time to talk, okay? It's a long time to just be talking to your examiner, you know? So you're going to want to make sure you have lots of different points to bring up. And so here are some tips that I think will help you. You don't have to use your cue card. So your cue card will have some prompts of stuff to say. For example, in the holiday one, the cue card says where you were going, how were you traveling, why were you making the journey? So there is some stuff we can talk about, but you don't need to use it, okay? You can talk about whatever you want, you know, related to the question. Just don't give a memorized talk. What people tend to do is, for example, they will be asked about a holiday and then they will say, okay, while I was on holiday, I watched a James Bond film, and that James Bond film is amazing. And the director was so amazing because he really worked well with everyone. You're talking too much about something else. You're trying to adapt the question to talk about something irrelevant, which you have memorized beforehand. You don't want to do that. You want to talk about a holiday. And if you can't think of a holiday, or if you don't go away much, make one up and make sure you're talking about a holiday. Don't change the subject and start talking about something else, because you're marked on your ability to answer the question specifically. And so just make sure it's informal, conversational. relaxed. Don't memorize big paragraphs, okay? Memorize phrases, memorize words that would be useful, memorize pronunciations, obviously, but don't memorize long paragraphs and just regurgitate them, as we say, just don't do that because that's something your examiner has been trained to notice. So he will know that you're doing that and subsequently mark you down. So in terms of answering the question, here is the question I've got for you guys today. And if you want to put in the comment section your response to this or some ideas about a memorable journey you made, as the question states, that would be amazing. And if you want to come on stream with me as well after I've done the presentation, that'd be great because we love interacting with you guys, giving you the chance to speak with us and improve your English. So here are some of the tips they give you on the cue card: where you were going, how you were traveling, why you were making the journey. So in my prep time for this question, here is my plan. And these are the kind of things I wrote. To be honest, probably could have wrote more things. If you get a minute, guys, write as much as you can so you're not struggling for things to say. And just make sure you've got enough detail down so you don't get stuck and flustered during your exam, because that is the worst feeling in the world. If you can't think of anything else to say, even if your English is really good, you can struggle on, just having enough content, having enough points to make. So make sure you plan even better than how I have. So I've used some of the cue tips a little bit in my response, but not really all of them. It's just about you and about what you feel like you're comfortable talking about and how much you can talk about with a holiday. So if I'm going to talk about Barcelona, if I'm asked, describe the memorable journey you've made, this was particularly memorable for me for a few reasons, which I'll get into. So a few years ago, my brother Dave took me to Barcelona for my birthday. So he very kindly bought me plane tickets, and I really wanted to go to Barcelona for so long because I'm a massive fan of football, and I grew up watching Lionel Messi play and seeing the crazy things he could do with a football. And I always said to myself, one time in my life, I want to see this guy play. I want to see him in the flesh, in person. However, about a week before I went, Messi sustained a 2-month injury. So I think he broke his ankle or something like this. And I was so devastated because I really wanted to see him. And yeah, he wasn't playing. But I had an amazing time anyway. I saw other great players like Luis Suarez, Neymar. And so I had an amazing holiday. I also explored Barcelona a lot. I saw La Sagrada Familia, so the amazing piece of architecture designed by Gaudi, which I think is still unfinished to this day, if I remember correctly. And I had an amazing time, and it's a place which I love so much, and I think it has such a rich culture behind it. Catalonia versus kind of Madrid, the capital. There's a lot of kind of cultural, historical value to Barcelona. The people are very friendly. It's just got a really great atmosphere and a great vibe to it. So guys, that was probably how I would answer that question. I'd love to hear you guys, your responses as well. And yeah, guys, if anyone wants to offer their response, I can tell you what you've done well, what you've done not so well. And so guys, preparation is so key for IELTS. I say this every time, but it's so important. Some things you just have to learn. You have to learn how to plan these questions, okay? Doesn't matter what the level of your English is. planning is so important and it can improve your mark so much. So make sure you always plan. Don't waste that 1 minute, because 1 minute, 60 seconds goes by very fast. And you're really going to want to make sure you have enough things to say. So guys, if anyone wants to put any questions down you may have, that would be amazing. For now, I'm probably going to end the broadcast, but if anyone wants to let me know anything or have any questions about speaking part 2, that would be brilliant. And yeah, it really just comes from preparation and planning, to be honest. That's how you're going to be most effective at answering this question. If you have enough things to say, make sure you don't memorize loads of stuff, because this is something that your IELTS examiner is trained to notice. If you're constantly just saying stuff that you've clearly memorized at home, they're not going to be impressed. The whole point of the IELTS speaking exam is that it's non-rehearsed, it's informal, it's conversational, it's a talk between you and your examiner, much like the talks you're going to have, when you come to university. It's supposed to prepare you for that and for that kind of interaction with, your professors, your tutors. And yeah, it's tough, 1 minute preparation time isn't much. So just try to write as much as you can in the time you're given. Use little graphs like this, that will kind of help you plan your answers better. If I'm describing a holiday, this is all I used for my talk before. So I'm able to talk about seeing Messi. I'm able to say he had the injury. I'm probably not going to remember all these things I have to say about my trip. And so it's important to have them written down in your preparation time. Brother, buy my plane tickets, La Sagrada Familia. And yeah, just make sure you're constantly answering their question, and you should be successful. But if you guys want to attempt this and send your responses to me, that would be brilliant. But for now, I'm going to end the broadcast. And if you have any further questions, please let us know. And thank you so much for tuning in, guys. And I'll see you